Hey everybody, welcome to this week's show. Got an awesome show for you today. Got my lovely wife Leslie here. Hey sweetheart.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. And we're going to be talking about our recent cruise on the Disney Wonder out of San Diego through the Panama Canal and ended up in Galveston. Pretty sweet, right?
Oh, it was a great cruise.
Yeah, what was
Loved
so
it.
great about it? What do you like about those cruises? I know you love first off the Panama Canal.
That was
right?
exactly what I was going to say. It's just going through the canal. I just find it just
Amazing.
absolutely fascinating. So educational. That's what I love. I love learning about different things.
It's an engineering feat. There's just
Yes.
no other way to put it. It's just incredible to realize that what men built in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and still is operational today with basically little change, pretty much. You know,
Yeah.
it's just amazing, right?
It is.
But that whole cruise is just an awesome thing anyway, because it's long, right? I mean, 2 weeks almost that cruise was 2 weeks, and then we added a few days on. Where did we start out?
We started out in Disneyland.
Yay! Went to the West Coast because we were cruising from San Diego, so we thought with our friends, we were sailing with a couple of other couples, and they're huge Disney fans, well, Disney World fans, but they've never been to Disneyland before.
I know, wasn't that awesome to be at Disneyland with someone who's never been there
Right.
before? It was.
It's kind of like taking your kids, you know. I mean, get to show them around, tell them when they're, where the cool stuff is, what the differences are between the West Coast parks and the East Coast parks. That was pretty fun,
The
right?
different attractions,
Yeah,
because there
showing
are
them
quite
around.
some attractions in Disneyland that are just particular and special to that park.
And speaking of special, I was, I had dinner at a very special restaurant in a very special place, and that was a very special evening, and I'll leave it at that. So if you follow us on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. So that was pretty cool. But again, we're not really talking about the Disneyland portion of our trip as much as we are just as kind of a jumping off place for our cruise. But it was pretty cool being out there and seeing all the stuff, because they're going through their 60th anniversary right now.
Yes.
60th birthday, 1955. Can you believe it? And so that was a lot of fun being out there with our friends and getting to see all the stuff going on for the 60th. The incredible fireworks show that they have now over Sleeping Beauty Castle, and the incredible new nighttime parade is just incredible, as well as Living Colors, World of Color. Sorry, that's it. In Living Color, World of Color. All these things, all these new things for the 60th. But that was pretty cool. But then from Disneyland, we made our way to San Diego, where we really jumped off on our cruise, right? And you know what I like most about those long cruises?
What?
The sea days.
Oh,
They're
yes,
just
that's right. That's what
amazing,
you like.
know?
Yeah, it is.
Well, you like them too, right?
I like them. They're a lot of fun. There's usually a lot of activities going on the ship. A lot of, especially when you do the Panama Canal, you have Captain Ken Puckett that is giving lectures during the day, and then we had some other guests that would come on during the day. I mean, not during the day, but they came on for the cruise to give different lectures.
Right. Different lectures, different entertainment, because the longer cruises you have a greater variety of entertainment. It's not just the typical Disney shows that you have. You'll also have great musical acts, great entertainment, musicians, jugglers, whatever. We actually had an Elton John tribute band was on the ship, and we had a Beatles tribute band on the ship.
Yes.
So a lot of English acts were being represented there on the boat while we were sailing away. And we had some great food. We always talk about the food on Disney Cruise Line. It's just amazing, right? Some of the wonderful meals. They do different menus for the longer cruises. So, we had some we had a frozen night at sea, where we had Arendelle elk or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they had the different menus for the different selected nights. We had a theme every night of what the menu was going to be.
So that's pretty
Special
cool.
foods on those menus, like what Rick was saying about the elk, and then some of the
just different
weird
things.
stuff.
Yeah, the weird stuff. But yeah, we had some great food. Had a couple of meals at my favorite place at sea, Palo. It was just amazing. We had brunch there and a couple of dinners that were just incredible. So Judy, if you're watching, great job. Our favorite server at sea
she
is Judy. She's
We've had
just
her
amazing.
on other cruises that we've gone on with the Wonder. Alaska one, and I think you've had her on some of your cruises. Hawaii when you did Hawaii.
When I did Hawaii, so yeah, we've known her for a while, and always a lot of fun. Great seeing her again. So that's some awesome food. You guys that been on Disney Cruise Line and been to Palo, you know what I'm talking about. That is that's some rockin' good food. That veal at brunch, still the best thing going, man. It's awesome.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
And the ossobuco at dinner.
Yes, I know you like that
amazing
too.
So yeah, lots of good stuff there. And you did something cool this time with the help of our friends. You decorated our door a little different, right?
Yeah, I actually participated in that.
Our Rick and Leslie, the feet were named. I was the left foot and you were the right foot, I guess. So you've probably seen the picture by now. It was pretty cute to decorate our door. We've never done that before.
No.
You have a fish extender, but we've never done the full-on door decorations. And we still, ours was mild and tame compared
to some of the others, that were on.
What most do.
Yes, yes.
And speaking of calm, we got asked this a lot after this cruise because this was during, I guess, the worst hurricane ever to come across the Gulf.
No, not the Gulf. It was the Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific, yeah, because it came up and was threatening to go across Mexico towards the Gulf. And, you know, our ports were pretty easy. Our first port, we had a sea day, and then we went to Cabo San Lucas. Flat calm, right? Perfect, beautiful, gorgeous in Cabo, remember?
Yes, but it was a sailing day to get there, so we weren't for sure if we were what Cabo was gonna be about.
But then we have Puerto Vallarta, which supposedly took a direct hit from the storm. Fortunately, the storm had greatly dissipated before it went land, and as I posted on Facebook and told a lot of people as we were talking about it, when we went on land, went ashore in Puerto Vallarta, you could barely tell even a palm frond had been blown, right?
It
was in great shape.
Oh yeah, it was no big deal. There was nothing that, I mean, and it was supposed to be really not in the path, but really close to be affected by some of those winds.
Sure.
It wasn't.
Yep, nothing. So any of you who asked, any of you who wondered, flat calm seas, just amazing the whole time.
It was fantastic.
On both sides, actually, both sides of the Panama Canal, on both the west side and when we crossed over into the east side and into the Caribbean Sea and then on into the Atlantic, right?
Yes. We had a debate about that. The way that they look at it in the Panama Canal, once you go, that other side is considered the Atlantic, even though we classify it as the Caribbean. It is the Atlantic, so it was a big debate between us.
Turned out to be. So, and so also going on the ship, speaking of decorations, it was all decorated for Halloween. We had Halloween on the ship, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. October 31st. Yes, we had Halloween.
So we went trick-or-treating, had lots of candy like you don't get enough to eat on a cruise ship as it is.
Yeah, and the kids had trick-or-treating, I understand. And we had a lot of kids running around doing the trick-or-treating. I guess some different staterooms were protected. I don't know how all that
different
works.
Places on the ship, yeah, and they had the tree in the atrium.
Yes.
Was amazing. The
pumpkins,
tree,
and it lit
all
up at
decorated
night.
out and actually talked to you, I guess. We didn't actually go down for that. Yeah, I had an animated face thing that talked.
Wow.
That was pretty cool. And had a great masquerade party, or I guess a costume party.
Yes.
Up on deck, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen so many Maleficents in the same place at the same time.
And varieties of Maleficents,
yeah, lots
too.
of different Maleficents.
Yes.
She seemed to be the most popular, or most repeated costume, I guess. Anyway, on this sailing, we had a lot of Maleficents.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool. And then, magically, before we got off the ship, Halloween went away and the gingerbread house
was coming into formation, yes, as we were.
Lights were on, everything was looking good, and it was smelling up the place, right? That was a lot of gingerbread they were putting out, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was pretty amazing. All right, so I mentioned our ports on the west side of Mexico. First, you know, we left San Diego, we went to Cabo, and then we went to Puerto Vallarta, and then it's time to go through the canal. Talk about going through the canal. I know you love that. So as Leslie said, before I let her continue, as she said, there's this great guy, Captain Puckett, Kenneth Puckett. He was, I think he's piloted over 1,400 ships through the canal. Just an amazing career as a pilot in the Panama Canal. He's done every sailing with Disney Cruise Line through the Panama Canal. So he's always our lecturer and narrator, tells you all about going on. He's got so many funny seafaring stories. You know, he's been I guess been on boats his whole life, you know, since he was just a teenager, from time in New Orleans and piloting boats on the rivers to all the way up to piloting through canals. And and through all the different canals around the world. Just has amazing stories. He's really cool, but he tells you all about how the canal works. So for days, that's part of going through the canals, you have this anticipation. You're moving closer and closer to the canal to make your crossing. And then for days, he would do lectures in the morning to kind of prepare you for what was going to happen, and so you knew the history of the canal and everything. It was pretty cool, right?
Yes,
you
it
like
was.
him a lot.
I do. I like his personality, and I also enjoy that he is a great lecturer. Being a Toastmaster, I always enjoy seeing someone who can get up on a stage or a podium area and be able to keep your audience engaged for 45 minutes. And that's a hard feat to handle, but he makes it look so easy.
Kind of like we do here on Travel with Rick, right?
Yeah, but we're not here for 45 minutes, and we don't have a big audience like right in front of us. It makes a big difference.
Right.
But
Just all you guys around our pool right now, right? For 20 or 25, maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, but he tells wonderful stories and makes it entertaining. So it's kind of edutainment, if you will.
no, that's a good word.
Yeah,
I like that,
I think
edutainment.
that's John and Tony's word.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. But he is a great person to listen to while you're on the ship, and he has his lectures around 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're roughly 45 minutes.
Right.
And we learn, he breaks his, as Rick said, he goes over the history and overview, the history of the canal and how it works, and he has it all broken down in what all the lectures are going to be about on the course of the cruise.
Right.
And then at the end, the one day that we go through the canal, the canal people actually have a total of 28 people that come on board to actually hold the different positions on the Disney Wonder or any cruise ship, or in particularly the Disney Wonder in this one, had 28 members of the Panama staff that came on to do the different parts of their responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a lot of responsibilities. And then we also had a narrator that I believe she was on the last time we did a canal crossing, and her voice seemed really familiar, and she was our narrator as we go through the entire canal. So it goes over all the PA system within the ship, not in your staterooms though. And then the day after that, Captain Ken did a Q&A for all of us who had questions about what was this when this happened, what was this when that happened, and just to kind of help us all out to understand, okay, now that we've been there, seen it, what did all this mean, when you actually experience something. And then also one thing that Captain Ken did, that parents out there, if you guys ever want to take your kids or even grandkids on this type of sailing, it is a very educational event. And he also did a special presentation for the kids, in that he did was it a Q&A that he did for the kids?
Yeah,
or
and to help them out with their homeschooling.
Yes.
Because now it became a geography and an engineering and a world history project for them to explain the canal and the canal treaty, the return of the canal, the building of the new canal, and all of these things that are going on. So he allowed all the kids who needed basically credit for class to come and actually participate in that, which made it really cool as well, right?
I think that was fantastic, because kids are out of school for 2 weeks, and yes, we did see quite a few children on the boat that were doing their homework assignments and that type of thing, and that's good, because obviously 2 weeks out of school is really
long time.
It's a long time,
right.
And with having that type of education that not every child is able to do, to take an adventure like that, it's just phenomenal for the student to be able to talk to the captain who's done these sailings so many times. I think when he did, it was 1,400 actual transits through through the canal. But does that mean that he piloted those also when you said that?
Don't know.
Oh, really?
I just know he's made close to 1,500 trips through the canal total.
Yeah, it's very, very
any way
close
you look
to
at it, it's
15.
pretty amazing. And he's a guy that's very familiar with how the canal works and everything. It's just a modern engineering marvel to go there and to see how mammoth these ships are. Keep in mind, the Disney Wonder, when it goes through there, the width of the canal and the size of the ship literally there is less than 2 feet on each side of the canal on the Disney Wonder. You wouldn't want to put your hand down between it. That's how close it looks. It looks like it's just basically, and it is sometimes, rubbing against the sides of the canal to get through there. So it's absolutely amazing the job they do, keeping the ships, large as they are, going through the canal and working and everything. All right, so for you, those of you who don't know how the canal works, I'm gonna give you real quick, how the canal works.
Yay.
Right? So that's my little, okay, so think about this. The Pacific Ocean, that's my right hand, it's down here, right? Sea level, right? Well, the thing about it is, you go through Panama, and there are mountains there, and there's lakes. So Lake Gatun is up here, basically 100 feet or so above sea level. I don't know exact numbers, but let's just say that it's bigger, right? So the problem is, how do you get a ship from here? So you basically pull the ship into a lock. That's what they call them. There are 3 locks on the Pacific side, and you basically lower the ship up, or raise the ship up with water. There you go, lower it up. So you raise the ship up with water, and then the ship floats into the next lock, right? And then you raise it up some more. Keep this up here, you raise it up some more, you go into the next lock, and then you raise it up some more till the ship is the same level as the lake. Then it sails through the lake, you get to the Atlantic side, and then you got to do the same thing down. You step down, you step down, and you step down, and you float in. So that's how the canal works.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think it's phenomenal. As a matter of fact, there was a guy that did the sailing with us, and there was a Facebook page for all of us that were sailing this trip, and so a lot of communication going on with all the people and all the fish extender stuff and all the activities that they organize while we're on a sailing. Well, one of the gentlemen on the ship stood out all day and filmed the entire transit through the canal, and then he sped it up to where it was from a 10-hour or 8-hour trip.
Takes all day.
He sped it up to be a total of roughly 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll look for that. We'll try to link it up below so you can check that out.
I have his name, so we can put that
we'll
on
hook
there.
it up, yeah. Look for that video below this video, and you can watch that there, because it's pretty amazing what you see, because I wasn't that guy. I didn't stand up there with a camera for 10 hours filming this whole thing. I didn't do it. We got some great footage.
Yes.
The Bridge of America, what's the other bridge? I know there's the Bridge of America.
Pan American Bridge.
The Pan American Bridge, yeah. Just some amazing structures down there. So
yes.
really, really cool how the whole thing works, how these locks, and they flood them, and they raise up, and they bring down these mammoth, hundreds of thousands of tons of ship. It's just amazing how it works.
It is.
So that was Panama Canal. So once we make it through the canal, we go to Cartagena. Had a great time in the port in Cartagena,
we did,
right?
yes.
Saw our friend Nora there,
Yes.
who is a missionary in Cartagena, doing great work down there. And we got to spend some time with her and spend the day there. Had a wonderful lunch at that beautiful hotel. It was phenomenal.
Santa Clara? Was that the name of it? Santa?
Could be. We'll put the name there so you can
Yeah.
see it, along with some pictures. We had a fantastic lunch there.
Oh, it was a
with our
wonderful
friends and hanging
tour
out.
also
Yeah,
that they
tour.
gave us the
great-
history of that place.
Yeah, had a great tour. That was awesome. Then we went on to Cozumel.
Yes.
So we had a great day in Cozumel. You love Mexico so much, don't you?
I do like Mexico.
Mexico is pretty cool. Had an awesome time there. Remember, I just remember Bernie was on the ship. Remember our friend
Yes,
Bernie?
yes.
Do you guys remember when we told you about our transatlantic cruise last year from Barcelona to San Juan? Bernie, our friend, who used to be the guitar player at Disney's Vero Beach Resort, Bernie Griffith, he's just amazing. And he was on the ship this time, so we got some great Bernie humor all along the way. Right?
We did. We
Pretty
had a
cool.
great time with Bernie.
Pretty cool.
Yes.
And Bernie taught us a new card game. So all of you travelers, what's the new card game we learned?
Skip-Bo.
Skip-Bo. So now we're official Skip-Bo players.
But of course, when I told our daughter, I said, guess what? I learned how to play Skip-Bo. Mom, that's such an old game. So a lot of you are probably going, guys, you are really out of it because that's an old game. Well, we just learned it and we enjoyed it.
We're a little behind the times, I guess. But overall, great cruise, right?
Yeah.
We didn't mention the sea days, but I did mention at first how much I love them. But I think we had a total of about 8 sea days, maybe 9 sea days. So
Yeah,
4
total.
ports, 4 ports, maybe 10 sea days. So
I didn't think it was that many.
9.
Because we had 14 nights, so it couldn't have been 10.
Well, 4 ports and 9 sea days is still 13. So.
Oh wow! So
Yeah.
maybe so.
So we had a lot.
We had a lot.
I didn't think about the canal. So it probably was.
Oh, yeah.
It was probably 8 or 9 sea days. So I know we had 4 right together. That was what was amazing. That when we're moving our way down the canal, we had 4 right there together. So just a great time to go and relax. Just give you a little price alert. A lot of times these cruises are much cheaper than other cruises because they're repositioning the ships and they're nice long cruises. So you look at the number of days versus the cost per day. It's a pretty affordable cruise most of the time too.
They are. They're
which
very
makes it kind of cool. And you still get that same great Disney service, great Disney entertainment, great Disney food, and great Disney quality. Right? It's amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Well, anything else you want to share?
I don't think so. I think I'm
Think you're pretty good with that?
I'm
Awesome.
I'm a pal.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, it was a great cruise. So we're going to take a few minutes and tell you about it. If you're thinking about a Panama cruise, thinking about a cruise, and Panama might be one of those locations you'd want to go to, definitely give us a shout out at Kingdom Magic. We'd love to help you with that. They're great vacation planners and cruise planners there that would just love to help you plan a cruise. And I will say, Panama Canal is just one of those things you have to do, right?
It is.
I can describe it with my little paper boat and all of that, but until you see it and you see how it works and you see how amazingly awesome it is, it's just one of those things you have to do. It's a bucket list trip for sure, and it's definitely something you want to check out and enjoy because it's amazing, totally amazing, right?
It's amazing, yes.
All right, very cool. All right, well, guys, thanks for watching. Hope to see you right back here next week. Leslie, thanks for hanging out.
Oh, yes. Great to be with you, babe.
Cool. And we'll see you guys right back here next week for another episode of Travel with Rick. So long, everybody.
See ya.
When it's time to plan your next vacation, you need the experience of someone who can help you make the best decision for your vacation dollars. With over 18 years of experience, Kingdom Magic Vacations can help you plan your next trip to incredible destinations like Disney, Universal, cruises, and all-inclusive destinations. Our team of travel planners are with you every step of the way. All you have to do is relax and enjoy your vacation. We do all the work. Call 866-972-6244 or visit kingdommagic.com to start planning your vacation today.
Hey guys, coming to you from a blustery day here in Cozumel, Mexico. Check out these 2 beautiful Royal Caribbean ships, the Liberty and the Brilliance of the Seas. They're incredible, and this is an incredible port. I want to take a few minutes and just thank you for watching this week's show. Remind you to drop your email address up there in our box. That'll get you signed up for our updates. So every time we put something new here on the blog, you'll be the first to know about it. You'll get a notification in your email. That way you won't miss a thing. If you want to keep up with what's really going on at Travel with Rick, check us out over on facebook.com/Travel with Rick. That's our Facebook page. That's where we post our question of the week, and that's where you can interact with us, find out where we're going, what we're doing, what we like, and you can also check out other Travel with Rick friends over there as well. And speaking of checking us out, if you're on YouTube or iTunes, yep, we've got channels for you over there as well. Listen, you never know where we're going to be next. We could be in some blustery port like this, or who knows. So check us out right back here next week. Find out for yourself. I look forward to seeing you right back here. So long, everybody.